So that's where we're at. So I'm going to use, it's a 14 millimeter. So I'm going to do the 14 millimeter, and I'm going to break loose. It might be a 13 millimeter actually. Let's see here. That's a 14. Let's see if it's. Nope. Stuff's starting to fall out of my thought. I think it might be a 13. But nope. Nope. It's a 14. So it's 14 millimeter. So. All taken loose. I don't want that one to fall. Make sure I got it good. Okay. Now, don't worry about trying to get these hold downs out until you're ready to pull the injectors out. Gonna have a little bit of fuel, but typically you can just grab a hold of that injector and give it a tug, and then there's the hold down. So I'm gonna put the hold down immediately to the right. Okay, so that's injector number 2. So for now, I'm going to lay them over the valves. There's all of those. Okay, so there's the old injectors are out, and the ones I'm going to replace. Now I'm going to go in and get the new ones, and we'll be right back in a little bit. Okay, so we've got the old injectors out, and we've checked down in and checked the cups. So I changed the cups out on this truck just a couple of months ago, so I'm not worried about the cups. But that's a whole different other procedure. So now we get to where we're going to put the injectors in. So these are remanufactured injectors, and some things to do beforehand. There's on a Volvo. There's 2 types of injectors basically. One has the conicals on the end here, where it's this V-shaped area right here. The other one is flat and requires a copper shim before you put it down on there, and you got to replace that copper each time you change out the injector. But since we're not doing that type of an injector, all you got to do is you got to make sure you got like a graphite paste or something that you put here, because this is going to compress, and we're going to put in a claw clamp here, and this is going to go down 60 foot-pounds of torque on it. Now the other thing is, the old injectors was missing this bottom ring, this bottom O-ring. And these are remanufactured injectors, so they're and they've got some warranty on them. It's like 90 days or something like that. But in any case, I mean, they're going to work or they're not. But I wanted to show what I was mentioning earlier, how you test these. If you look up inside there, you see 4 pins. Number 1, it's marked on the top left. And then number 2 is across from it, number 3 down below, and then number 4. So 1 to 3 should test open, and 2 to 4 should test between 1.5 and 3.5 ohm. So that's pretty much how you test them electronically. So now, since this requires a graphite paste and these 2 conical surfaces here, I'm using an anti-seize lubricant that has graphite in it. So just take a little dab of that, leaving the plastic on the nozzle. You don't want to get this on the nozzle. So while you still have that, put some graphite paste or a graphite based anti-seize on on these surfaces. So when you compress them down, you don't want any of the engine combustion gases coming up through this double V area. And this just gives you a little bit more sealing with the graphite. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to lubricate these O-rings. Now, I'm using Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. It stays a while. And all the stuff that I'm doing inside here, I'm going to use the oil stabilizer with it. I'm just going to put a little bit on each ring, each O-ring, and I'm just going to go right around that like that. And I'm just making sure that it's well lubricated. Okay, then my finger here. I'm going to inject this down. I'm going to put this down in there. I've already checked, make sure there was nothing in there. Got to take the plastic cap off, obviously. Now that I've got the graphite on there, take that right off of there. So that's your barrel.